Hello, hello, hello. I am getting so much better at this. Remember when I would just sit there and talk for about 10 minutes and didn't know I wasn't on air? And now I just go right into it. Usually, ready or not, I'm here. So, let's see. I'm just going to start off with a few hellos to Church Nelly, one of our Mod Squad moderators, Maria, Miranda Rios, uh, Connie Baumer, all the way from Switzerland, Gina Suji, welcome. Haven't seen your name for a while. Judy Regal, welcome to the live. Teslin, I'm sorry. You're saying I'm reading what you said, Nelly. Okay, so let's see. Twee Five Girls. Twee Five Girls. Okay. 101. That could be fun, I suppose. Let's see. Lydia Washington, one of our Mod Squad moderators. Teslin Dawkins. Did I say that all right? Siona Sora, welcome. Maxine One. Annie Bullard. Uh, Diane Hawkins. You know what, Diane? You just saved me a whole lot of trouble, didn't you? Hello, Latoya Wiley, Cookies and Cream. Sister and Cece. Myra, welcome. Marianne Morris, Maxine B2, and Margaret Rollin. And also, okay, I said Maxine 1. Rachel Windley, welcome to the live chat. Okay. Thank you for that, Diane. You're so good. Okay. Well. Let me see. I'm scrolling. Beverly is doing the same. Hi, Beverly Hardy. And let's see, who did I miss? Anita, Essie, Jacqueline, Geraldine, Arnaud. Oh wow, I'm so French, right? Jacqueline, Geraldine, Arnaud. It's easy to speak French. All you have to do is just skip the last letters of the word or the name, and you're French. Oui. Okay, cookies and cream. Anastasia Isabella, I presume, another member of the Mod Squad. Southern Lady, Fancy. I said Sister and Cece and Squatties, all of all shades and alike. So okay. Bonjour, s'il vous plaît, mademoiselle. Um, you know, bon, 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 mm, oh, bonjour. No, bonsoir. Yes, we. uh, okay, let's see. All right. Okay, so I think let's see. Red Robin, welcome. Ruth Lopez. We're stalling to get a few people in here. Ruth Lopez. Sonia Campbell, yeah. And Queen B. Queen Bay. What up, Queen Bay? Lissima. Oh, if you think my French is bad, you should hear my Italian. It's easy to speak Italian too. You just throw an Italiano in there, and it's all about the inflection. I try to stay away from Spanish because the last time I did that, I almost caused a race riot. So I try to stay away from Spanish. Well, you guys can see I'm in a better mood today. Um, I got a good night's sleep, and I tried not to think about all of the despair that I was feeling yesterday with that family. But we're going to talk about them. But I just think, ultimately, I'm in a better place today. So let's just ignore all the noise, right? Sonia Alexander, Elizabeth Clark, Robert Collins, Vinny Blair, welcome. Yeah, we're just going to ignore some of the noise and just get back to basics, right? Let's get back to the messy. I think we're always strongest when we're being just a little bit messy. So yeah, that's where we're going to flourish. I mean, no, we're not going to do too much of that, but just, just enough to say we did. But yeah, the news is what it is. But Andre Leon Talley, I spent a few hours like immersing myself into his career again. And, he's just one of those people that you just love to hear him talk. And he had such great stories about so many people. And as some of you all may know, two of like the toughest people I can think of, well, maybe a few, we share the same birthday. And one of them happens to be Anna Wintour. Yeah, I'm nothing like Anna Wintour. I am a bit moody and mysterious, but other than that, I am nothing like Anna Wintour, I promise you. So don't get weird on me. But yeah, Charles Bronson also share the same birthday, as well as two real nut jobs, Dennis Miller and Roseanne Barr. Two really nutty people also share the same birthday with me. And then there's who else? Oh yeah, Dolph Lundgren. You might remember him. So yeah, I feel connected to Andre Leon Talley, but certainly not in that way. Just in that you know, people always make comment about African American women trying to navigate this world, but believe me, as an African American man, I have had my share of expectations. And I would say that, like, even in the Sussex world, I'm a bit of an anomaly because you just don't expect to hear a man's voice defending the Sussexes that's not actually, I guess you would say, a journalist or something like that. But here I am. And I am here for the Sussexes for various reasons that you may have heard me express before. But okay, let me get a few more people in here. And oh, it's already 3:16. I think we're good. I'll give a couple more seconds for some more people to get in here. But yeah, but I'm glad to do what I'm doing, and I'm glad that you guys have accepted me. And I think I've done like 355 videos, something like that. Some 355 videos later, I think I can safely say you know enough about my intent to know why I'm here, and why I feel the way I do about the Sussexes. So yeah, that's it. There's our faves right there. And I am glad to be able to help them in any way I can. So that being said, okay, I'm going to get rid of that from yesterday. Sorry, didn't mean to bring that up. But yeah, I have to make room for things to bring in new clips and such. So that's what I'm doing. And stalling a little bit, but I thank you for being patient. Okay. I want to put up a nice photo of Andre while I read what he said about the Duchess of Sussex. So we'll do that. We'll get a couple of Andre photos up. If I can, let's see. That's not working out. One more try. My apologies. Anyway, okay, so I'm just going to have to do this then. Okay, try that one more time. Nope, not working. Okay, so anyway, Andre Leon Talley. There it is right there. This is a quote from him. Such a bigger than life individual. You can see there it says Andre Leon Talley was brought to tears talking about the recent royal wedding. Of course, this is from 2018. The larger than life former Vogue editor at large was in tears discussing what the royal wedding meant to people of color, especially black women, said a guest at the Q&A um, after a screening of the new documentary, The Gospel According to Andre, at Harlem's Schomburg Center. He raved about Meghan Markle, laced veil, and her mother of pearl. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Her mother's perfect. Let me make this bigger so I can see it. Her mother's perfect dress and hat. The spy told us. I guess that's a magazine or something. But anyway, he cried comparing Meghan to Audrey Hepburn. Talley's pal, Tamron Hall, interviewed him on stage and accompanied him to an after party hosted by famed designer Dapper Dan at his nearby Gucci atelier. Anyway, if you don't know who Dapper Dan is, make sure you look him up. Uh, Harlem lifted Andre's heart, said a guest. It's been emotional for him to open up about his life as a child and his rise to fashion. In fashion, attendees also included. Anyway, we don't want to talk about page 6, but yeah, that's where the story comes from, and that's from 2018. So Andre had an incredible life, and sadly enough, he was not paid very well for the work that he's done at Vogue. It was said that, well, actually, he said that he found out that the most he had ever made was about $300,000 a year working at Vogue. And then he said that some of the other fashion editors who obviously didn't look like him, they were making upwards of 900 to $1 million a year. So he said he had only recently learned that, like, a few years ago, but it was after, I believe it was after he left Vogue, obviously, since he spoke about it. And so Andre had to struggle, his entire career. And so that's why when the Duchess of Sussex was married, it meant so much to him. And this is why I myself, and I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way, when we have an opportunity to see the Obamas in spaces that were never really meant for us, if we have a chance to see some of these governors and mayors across the country in spaces that wasn't meant for us, and of course, most recently, Sidney Poitier, another trailblazer, in spaces commanding respect in ways that was not really meant for us. When we have an opportunity to see that, I, you, we become very protective of those people. And I hope that I'm never so protective that I can't be objective about my opinions of them. But certainly, we become very protective of people like the Obamas, like the Duchess of Sussex, like even Andre Leon Talley. We become very protective of them because we have all grown up in at a time and a place when it was just unusual to see people in those spaces that look like we do. So that's why when the Duchess of Sussex was being maligned and attacked by the tabloid press or mistreated by her husband's family, being mistreated by them, of course, that was when I put my cape on and I'm like, something's got to be done. And so it's very easy to just sit back and say, oh, they're rich, they can, things have ways of taking care of themselves, but they don't. We have to take care of it. So that's why I'm here, and that's why I would assume everybody who is a content creator, everyone on Twitter that's in the squad, all of the squaddies are here for that common purpose. And so when Tina used to say it's not just about Meghan and Harry, of course it's not. It's so that the next person that comes along won't find that their legs have been cut out from up under them before they can even prove that they can do the work, that they can fit in, that they are able to be the smartest and the brightest ones in the room. So that's why we have to be so vigilant with people whose values align with our own so that we can make sure that they have at least the protection of us keeping receipts and calling out the misdeeds that have been, I guess, predicated upon them. So, anyway, let me take a couple of your comments here and see what you all have to say. Uh, yeah, super talented. Yeah, Andre, he studied French literature, and I believe he also studied the Russian literature. And so it wasn't so much that he was a designer. No, of course he wasn't. But his dialogues with the designers are what made them so great. And like just today, I was watching him talk about Oscar de la Renta, and he said that so many things that Oscar de la Renta designed, they would have a conversation about it, and then all of a sudden, he would um, create the magic. So yeah, that's how these things happen. So it's the relationship between, and of course that includes Anna Wintour. Anna Wintour didn't just edit a magazine, but she also guided an industry. So that's something that can never be taken away from them. So let me see what else we have here. Uh, okay. Yeah, I think the very worst of it, Miss Levi, was when he was in Paris and they referred to him as Queen Kong. They referred to him as Queen Kong. And considering everything that it took for him to be in Paris to do the work um, that Andre Leon Talley was doing, considering what it took to get there, and that someone would refer to him as Queen Kong as a way to, slap him down or disparage him just so that they can big themselves up is a real pity. It's the most awful treatment of a human being. So yeah, and of course some of the things they would say about Michelle Obama, comparing her to, the way they compared, I can't even say the words, but the way they treated Michelle Obama, that too, but that's what happens. Is it's not enough that you have struggled to get into those professions, if you will. And of course, with Michelle Obama, I don't think a lot of people understand that a first lady doesn't have a salary. A first lady does not have a salary. There's no salary for the first lady. The first lady just is. The first lady is a voluntary role, and she's not getting paid for that work. And I don't think a lot of people really understand that there's no pay for the first lady. And so Michelle Obama sacrificed a lot where she could have been in a professional world doing other things with the education that she had. But in order to, with a lot of intelligent first ladies, in order to support your husband, you have to go and bake pies, and you can't quote a policy or something like that unless it's for women and children. But anything else, you're not expected to have an opinion. So, yeah, if you haven't had a chance to research Andre Leon Talley, make sure you do, because he was a fascinating guy. And I think it was a couple, maybe during the start of the pandemic, that was when I really immersed myself in the documentary. Maybe I've seen both of them. I really can't recall. And then of course, just listening to the stories that he tells and the people that he's encountered in his lifetime is priceless. I mean, I hope that let's see, what does it say there? Does Jill Biden get paid in her job? Not as first lady. Not as first lady. Jill Biden is a school teacher. She teaches English to immigrants, and She has a doctorate degree, so but no, she doesn't get paid for being first lady. I believe she's the first and perhaps the only working first lady. She's the only first lady that's had a proper job. Other than that, I don't think there's been any others. And with the pandemic and such, I'm not sure exactly how much she's been able to work, but it was firmly her intention to continue working. As the second lady, she worked full time well, I don't know if it was full time, but there was times when they were on flights and Michelle Obama was like, come on here, girl. I'm about to drink something. You want something? Oh no, I have to grade these papers. She would take her homework on Air Force One when they would fly around the world. She was still working, but she has a work ethic, unlike the greatest. Let me stop. But she. Oh, forget it. I'm gonna just go there. But unlike this person, Jill Biden does have or continue to work. She's had a long work career. She doesn't go and sit and pretend like she's a concert pianist or that she's a child psychologist or something like that, or take a report from a child psychologist and put her name on it. But but you understand what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, okay. So let's see what. Oh, let me get rid of her. Let me get rid of her, and I'm gonna go back to some comments. Okay, so I saw this, and it's Friday. We have an open dialogue. What is that about? What is that about, Elaine? What are we congratulating? I love good news, especially today. I can use as much as I can get. So, let me see. That's what I want to know is who is calling us lazy. If in us you're referring to people of African descent, um, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It comes from so many different directions. Okay. Yeah, but let's see. Yeah. Rest in peace, Leon. Andre Leon Talley, rather. A man who put fab in fabulous. There was a time when he was everything in TV shows, in movies. I will miss him, but his work is done. He earned his wings. Absolutely. Yeah, apparently, he's been a victim of the pandemic. That's what they're saying. And even though he did everything to shield himself from it, well, apparently, that didn't save him. If that's what it was, we don't know for sure. Sometimes they'll say these things, but he didn't have an agent, or I don't know of any relative who would dispute that. So I guess that's the working theory, is that he is yet another victim of the pandemic. Uh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Dressed as HRH and dressed as HRH Harry. Okay. Oh, you're talking about those two. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think that's who you're speaking of. Um, and they took no questions. Yeah. Yeah, they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to be overshadowed by greatness, so the best thing to do is to not say anything. Yeah, they don't want to be overshadowed by the greatness of those two. So the best thing to do is to say absolutely nothing. So speaking of which, okay, I'm just gonna move along from that for now. But later on, if you have any comments about that, feel free to. Oh, here's one more here. Was from Durham, North Carolina, where he lived. He attended Hillside High and let me see, NCCU. And my mom's friend was his classmate and said he was bullied in high school. Yeah, he said he was bullied in high school. He said he was relentlessly bullied and he said he just kept walking. But yeah, he wore his apparently the thing with the capes was something that he has done for quite some time. So he said that if it's your style and you're comfortable in it, then people are going to accept you so long as you accept yourself, which is an absolutely beautiful sentiment. So, okay, I've gotten to the bottom of this. A seventh grandbaby? Elaine Parker, a seventh grandbaby? Is that what we're talking about here? Congratulations. All the best. Congratulations. Hello, Yvonne Clark. Welcome to the chat. H Knight, welcome to the chat. Happy Friday. Yeah, I'm having a fantastic day. I hope you are too. Black Queen, welcome. Yeah, this is good news. Elaine, welcome. And we welcome number 7, grandbaby. Congratulations. He was very knowledgeable. It was very upsetting that Anna gave his seat to someone to sum up. To sum up, and coming up 23 years old influencer. Um, yeah, Anna Winter. They said without ceremony, just didn't call him to do the Met Gala, and the influencer. I don't know how many followers she had, but that probably helped guide the decision to hire her for that night. So yeah, that was pretty tough that happened to the poor girl, um, because it puts her on the spot for being hired in Andre's place, and so you have this influencer who somehow is put in the shoes of someone who was, by all accounts, a brilliant thinker, a conversationalist, someone who did he have a master's degree in French literature, but someone highly educated and someone who has been at the forefront of fashion for a long time. Now, some people said it was because he got too old, and some people said it was because he got too fat. Some people said it was because he just wasn't cool anymore. There were many reasons. Anna Wintour, they had a very complicated relationship, as she said, and for Anna and Andre, they were kind of like the Batman and Robin of the fashion industry, and they worked well with one another until they did not work well at all. So yeah, it's very complicated, and it. I guess if there's anything that I've ever taken from being in a workplace, I don't necessarily respect everyone that I work with, but I respect when they're doing a great job. Now, that being said, I wouldn't want to be replaced by some influencer. And if I was that influencer, I definitely wouldn't want to have to try to fill those shoes, not even for the Met Gala. But you know what they say, um, too old enough to know better and too young to care. Is that how that saying goes? But yeah, gosh, what a position for that child to be in. That Harry made a mistake. Uh, patient, let me know. Harry made a mistake marrying Meghan because she should have known that he would attract attention. Okay, I can't read that one, but uh, okay, but all right. Yeah, so it is blaming the victim. The whole thing about hey, she should have known better, and with the way that Princess Diana was treated, even the way Fergie was treated, um, they were very vicious toward Diana. Um, Also with Fergie, Fergie took a lot of the heat for Diana, And the Duchess of Sussex has taken heat for everybody in the family. Harry has taken heat for being married to the Duchess of Sussex. So they turn up the flames on everybody in the family, is true. But when it came to the Duchess of Sussex, this type of vitriol was particularly life threatening. I cannot believe I just said vitriol. Is I usually when that happens, that means that hello, Ivy here. That means Ivy is near. Because anytime I have an analytical thought like that, okay, I can hold my own, but I owe a lot to Ivy because Ivy makes me a much smarter person every time I watch her channel. Hello, Ivy here. Okay, they don't care if you are a learned person. They will knife you in the back when blacks don't mean much to them. Let me see. They will be a chameleon to you and axe you the next. Yeah, Lil Rock, I've experienced that. I have experienced that. I have worked for big companies and small. I have worked for myself. And believe me, I have experienced that. And it's like sometimes it can be so shocking when you know that you're being treated differently just because. It's just like that sixth sense, when it's happening to you. And all you want to do is just fit in and demonstrate you can do the work or even excel in the position. But either way, that option may have been taken away from you because it makes people feel better about themselves to have someone to discriminate against or whatever the bias may be rooted in. It happens. um, Yeah, no honeymoon period. And I once heard one of the influencers say that the Duchess of Sussex should have waited at least 6 months before she was committed to doing any royal duty. And I, I was like, I disagree with that. There's no way in the world. I mean, ideally, yeah, let her wait. And I'm sure the Duchess of Sussex would have been glad to have done more work behind the scenes, which is what she did, like with the Hub Kitchen. But for the price of the wedding, that family wanted to put her on display as soon as possible. And she didn't shy away from the work. The problem is that she was doing such a great job that they became so intimidated by the fact that she was usually the smartest one in the room that they thought, oh no, we won't have any of that. And they got rid of her. They drove her to the countryside, to the Cotswolds. Then that location was revealed. Then it was back to Kensington, and that didn't work out. And then it was off to the servants' quarters, and that didn't work out. Even though she wasn't seen for months at a time, it still didn't work out. She had to go, and that is a pretty sad state of it. But that's pretty much what happened is that she was just too popular for her own good. So she had to go. Too beautiful, too articulate, too charismatic. I guess too engaging, too everything. She was just too much of everything. Too beautiful. Too beautiful because the standard bearer of the household, the one that's supposed to save the entire family, was aging rapidly in front of our eyes. And so, because of that rapid aging process and lack of verbal skills, and of course, that little tick with the hands, they because of that little tick with the hands, yeah, the Duchess of Sussex had to go. So we know how it happened. The timeline. I guess you could say certain accounts don't vary. We know exactly what happened. uh, yeah, I've heard of that guy before. I've heard of that guy before, but um, you know, unless we can get people to submit a little saliva or hair follicles, what's going to come of it? Yeah, but I've heard that before. Wouldn't that be interesting? Wouldn't that be interesting? Billy plans was to have Meghan and Harry move to the apartment next door to his, adjoining doors. Diane, I've heard that before, but uh, yeah. uh, and if that is true, I'm pretty sure Harry would have already have sorted that out and was just like, that's not going to happen. I'm pretty sure Harry would have sorted that out. Plus, any royal protection officers, well, Princess Diana had no privacy before they stripped her of her HRH. So the royal protection officers were answering to Prince Charles. And so whatever perceived paranoia that she had was really rooted in the fact that she had absolutely no privacy. She had no privacy. None whatsoever. And even that butler of hers, I'm willing to wager you that one that stole her clothes and was probably wearing them around his house and had that whole court case and everything. What a weirdo. You steal someone's clothes, even her knickers. You take her knickers. When they raided his house, the police said that the clothes still smelled of Princess Diana's perfume. Okay, that weirdo. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't ratting her out about anything and everything that Chucky thought was interesting. So there is no perceived privacy in that family. So I guess it just makes sense, the half in, half out. I'm glad that that was not a thing. I'm glad that they were just out of it. But at the very least, one would expect that they would have an opportunity to visit Harry's birthplace. But now that's off the table. Um, so she was supposed to not do the work. Yeah, Emily Andrews reiterated that in an article, "Too Good to Be True." Aussie reporter Angela, is that little round face woman that if I think that's she makes me sick. If that's the one I'm thinking of, she's got the stringy dark hair and that round pathetic face that, oh, yeah, someone on, and you know what? Thank goodness nothing from Australia pops up on my YouTube anymore, because I check not interested so much. I just don't get them anymore. But anytime I would see her, I would just almost barf in my lap. Oh, I couldn't stand her. What an awful person. Um. Oh, and why do I have this thing up here? Let me get rid of that. Okay. Okay. Oh, those kids are absolute dolls. And as they get older, because they're not married to their cousins, because what are they, twice removed from cousins? Once they're older, oh my goodness, could you imagine? They are just going to be like, um, I'm and of course we know they're not going to do any type of catalog work or anything like that, but they are going to be absolutely adorable children. They are now, so could you just imagine? Um, let's see, because she was first pregnant and then had a small child to care for, and yet the British media says she's everywhere and all over. Absolutely, Bellissima. Absolutely. Hmm. It's a real double standard, I think. Sestrin. Okay. Ma Middleton. Okay, before I go on, let me do this so we can see those snake looking eyes. Ma Middleton had to call to throw shade at Meghan's eloquent speech. She knows her lazy daughter cannot measure up to the Duchess Meghan. Yeah, look at those shady eyes. Just shade. She's another one that makes me sick. That whole little group of co-conspirators, allegedly, possibly, and most likely conspirators, they all get on my nerves. Okay. Okay. Here's some wise words, I think. The Grinics, when you shine from the inside, they can't take it away from Megan. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because she just has that star quality. She's always had that star quality. And in spite of the fact they tried to convince people that she was this awful, vicious person, it just it didn't fly. It didn't fly. And I'm not sure if this is true. Aside from the haters on the YouTube and the Twitter, I don't. And and like sometimes if you read a magazine article, you go to the comments, inevitably you're going to see somebody say the N word, meaning, of course, narcissist. But I don't see that coming from that like moniker that they were using. I don't see that coming from the tabloids any longer. That's one thing that they for some reason they have shied away from that. I think maybe it's the threat of a lawsuit because of the fact that those people within the household would have been called to witness by the Duchess's lawyers to try to prove that to be true. So I don't know if that's the reason why they stopped throwing that around as much in the press. But of course, you still hear the N word, of course, narcissists coming from a lot of the people who has all the hate comments and such. Like sometimes when I read the comments, they'll say, "Well, how come the Sussexes just don't give all their money to XYZ? Well, how come the Queen's not giving up anything? How come Charles? Well, at least Charles does have his Prince's Trust, where he takes taxpayers' money from Cornwall and give it to other people. But well, at least he does that. At least he takes some in and puts some back out. I don't know the Queen contributes money to anything or anybody else in that family for that matter. It seems like everybody else just takes, takes, takes. Okay. Uh let me see. Yeah, I heard that that Kate is doing like the extensions. Well, I read somewhere where someone said that Kate needs to cut her hair. Well, she needs to wear her hair shorter because it's bordering on ridiculous. It's not just that it looks phony, but it's also it looks ridiculous. It you know, I guess I'm trying to say that she doesn't have the youthful appearance anymore to pull that off. So either yeah, it's too much. It looks fake. It looks very fake. It seems like those little pieces that you clip on and then you just go out the door. Just like Afro Annie, sometimes she'll tie her purse. Um, she'll tie her purse in a knot. She'll take the straps and tie it in a knot and just walk out the door. Well, this one here, she clips on pieces of hair and just walk out the door. So, yeah, it's old now. It's kind of old. Um, she certainly won't ever wear her hair up because then she can't hide behind it. And so, just to seem a little provocative, she just pulls it behind one of her ears so she can hear whether or not somebody's tipping out of the house in the night. I know, Marshawn. That's why I have it because it says everything that I'm feeling about her most of the time. That's why I have this photo. I repeat, it says everything that I feel about her most of the time. That eat and grin is the way I perceive her. So that's why she's up there because it's not just how she looks, it's how I feel about her as a person. If that makes any sense, it's how I feel about her as an individual. She grates on my nerves with that lack of authenticity. So, poor Kate. They have built her up as a great beauty, which will lead to her having to have endless procedures to keep up with Meghan's aging backward lovely skin. But maybe that's her karma. Yeah, okay. I'll buy that. I'll buy that. It seems legitimate to me. I mean, yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, she doesn't look. It's kind of like the Anne and Lizzie thing. You know how now Princess Anne seems like she's the same age as her mama. Well, same thing here. She's starting to seem like she's the same age as her mama. I'm just completely petty today. I'm enjoying it. It helps me feel better. It's like therapy for me because they get on my nerves. Uh, uh, we'll see how it goes, Melita. We'll see how it goes. Let me see. Absolutely, absolutely. Uh, okay, I saw that already. Okay, yeah, absolutely. And a mean girl on top of that. Hi, Lucy Wynn. Did you? Oh, there you are, Lucy Wynn. Hi, welcome to the live chat. Yeah. Well, welcome, Lucy. I'm doing therapy. Anytime you see this photo up, you know I'm doing therapy. I'm trying to ease my nerves. Some people, when they're feeling a little blue about things, they stop at the Tesco's or something like that and grab a something like this. But me, I talk. So some people have a sip. Some people try to talk it out. I'm talking it out right now. Okay. And if the tabloids went after innocent persons, like UK tabloids, they would be called out or people boycott reading their news. Well, Connie, I have to say, Switzerland has been known for a long time. What I think that's why Tina Turner moved there, because Switzerland is like one of those places where even if you don't know everybody, people treat you like they know you. You know what I mean? It's like a sense of community, like get on with it is what I see from the outside looking in. I mean, I'm sure they have issues like any place else, but I think that in some of the smaller countries the laws are more adapt to protect the civilians than in larger countries where everything is driven by financial gain. And so because these tabloids are there to make money, they have to their winning formula is destroy people's lives. So until there's an alternative to that, they will continue to destroy people's lives. um this is, you know, the most power that this guy will ever have outside of his money is the type of influence that he can use by attacking people allegedly with his daily fail. That gives him power. And so, yeah, maybe everybody else in his group has, you know, straight or wavy hair, and his is an indication of his lineage, which is interesting. But so, in order to try to fit in, he goes after people. He goes after people. And yeah, and he has been found wanting in his character. So, let's see. Um, yeah, Elizabeth, I hope, I hope that someday, you know, she won't do it, but I hope someday all of that collective wealth, some of that will be given back. Some of that will be given back. How about the Benin bronzes? Okay. We don't even have to start with her. We can start with the museums. The museums, some of those things should be given back. You know, some of them were purchased fair and square, but a lot of that stuff is looted. Isn't one of those big diamonds that belongs to the queen? Isn't one of those big diamonds something that was stolen from India, from a Maharaja or something like that? Like a 12, 13-year-old boy, someone took it for Queen Victoria, if I remember the story. Hey, Charlene Brown, I'm glad you're driving and listening. I'm glad. Be safe out there. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Uh, oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I listened to Special K the other night and she was on fire. Yeah, I even put it in my community tab. I wanted to make sure everybody saw it or watched it or listened to it or whatever. But yeah, Special K, I love Special K. And it's like uh it's so rare that we actually have a podcast from her. And so when we do, yeah, thank you for that. The Coroner Diamond. That's the one. That is the one. The Hope Diamond, I think that's in the US, Sonia. I think that's at the Smithsonian Institute. But the Coroner Diamond, that's the one that they stole from a 13 or 14-year-old child. They had him sign it over or something like that. They say that the railways, you know, and I'm just gonna tell you how I heard it. I'm not saying that it's absolutely true, but it makes a lot of sense. They said that the railways in India were created to haul out the wealth and minerals from the country, mostly the you know, fabrics and such, the gold and whatever treasures. They said the railroads were not built for people. They were built to extract things from the country. And they said, I saw this documentary. They said India went from being one of the wealthiest countries on the planet before the East India Company showed up and stripped them bare. That's what I heard. And using the rule of that's what I heard, it must be true, because if you hear something about the Sussexes, it's got to be true. So I'm sure that's true too. That's what I heard. And if I heard it, then it had to be true. Oh, I'm in a messy mood tonight. But yeah, if we take everything we heard as the gospel, then it must be true, because that's what somebody said. And facts don't matter. It's only true if it's the Sussexes. So I'm just going to use reverse truisms. And if that's what I heard, then that's true. It's got to be, because that's what somebody said. And if somebody said it, then it must be true. Okay, I have to point out. Um, yeah, I saw that when she said the crown was too heavy. That was when she manhandled that crown and had it spinning around on the table and everything. That was fun to watch. That was fun to watch. But you know what? We don't hate anybody. We make fun of people here. Um, but we're here to support our faves, and sometimes we have to have a little fun with people just so that we don't go completely crazy from the constant attacks against the Sussexes. So, yeah, they took so much wealth from India, Africa. To this day, they have not returned the arts, like the Benin bronzes, the Elgin marbles, and so many things that you can't even count are in the museums. All looted treasure. Well, not all, but some of it is looted treasures. Looted treasures. Those countries could use their artifacts. They make an excuse that, well, at least if it's here, then we can properly care for it if it's here. As long as we have it here, then we can probably properly care for it here. Uh-huh. They had it all them thousands of years, but it's only in danger because now you got it, so you got to keep it. Come on now. Bye, girl. Let's see. Lynn, hi everyone. Just joined, late as usual. Well, we're glad to have you here. Oh, look at that. 747, my favorite airplane, Queen of the Skies. 747. Okay, the British Museum has the largest collection of stolen African artifacts, like the Benin bronzes. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I say when my ashy feet hit the floor is Benin bronzes, Benin bronzes. That's the first thing I say. Yep. Every time I wake up in the morning, I'm still trying to get those Benin bronzes back. So you have a point there, Benin bronzes. If I ever see Charles or William, I'm instead of like, hello or something, I'm gonna say Benin bronzes, Elgin marbles, Benin bronzes. Uh, okay, let me see right here. Okay, what does it say here? Um, I don't know. Have I been talking for almost an hour already? Did somebody roofie me? What have I been talking about? I don't know, Vetty. Let me look at my notes because I what have I been talking about? How long have I been talking? This is so weird. I feel like somebody just roofied me or something. I don't know, Vetty. Maybe another half hour. But if you have to go, don't worry about it. You can just catch it later, I'm sure. Um, okay. Let me look at my notes here. I cannot believe that this already been an hour. What have I been talking about? Good grief. I know I was throwing a little shade, but to be fair, I probably would have done that anyway. Um, I probably would have thrown a little shade. It's something about Friday night to just scream shade, especially when it comes to the, jazz hands. And if there's any derangers listening, tune in again next Friday. It'll be some more shade. Okay. So I have these two that I want to talk about, and that should take us about another 30 minutes with your comments. Um, but yeah, that sounds nice, Vetty, to cuddle up to. Good luck with that. I'm actually a little jealous, but enjoy. I'll be here. Okay. All right. So let me bring this up. Okay, there we have this. Royal family will be relieved if the Duke and Duchess of Sussex don't come to Prince Philip's memorial because it will turn into the Harry and Meghan show, expert says. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this headline, this is the reason why Harry would feel, or I'm going to say, the reason why I think he would feel insecure to bring his family back to the United Kingdom. Is headlines like this: some weirdo, some deranged person, not him, some a real another deranged person, but some weirdo, a deranged person may feel like they need to take action against them because of this. Like it kind of reminds me of this one. This one is even worse. I genuinely worry that Prince Harry and Meghan's criticism of unnamed, what, in the royal family has increased the danger of the attacks on the royal family. Okay. It reminds me of that. It's not but it's still just as bad. Family will be relieved if the Duke and Duchess of Sussex don't come back. Okay, the wording of that to me is incendiary and I think is very dangerous for the Sussexes. I think it was very careless of them, but of course it comes from Lord Nappyhead's paper. So what do you expect? But I didn't like this. I did not like this. It to me, the language is threatening for the Sussexes, and this is why Harry feels insecure about bringing his family back to the UK. And if you notice that they have this particular photo of them flanked by the queen who they are upsetting so much, or the person who's incandescent with rage that drove them out of the country allegedly in the first place. And where does it come from? Lord Nappyhead's paper. That's where it comes from. Your comments, please. It's the royal rotor who will turn into a yeah. Well, that's they're saying that, of course, so that they can somehow. I, I guess what they want is for people to turn out and I guess try to embarrass the Sussexes, and God forbid somebody should try to do something crazy, But the language of that headline to me is very dangerous for the Sussexes. It is instead of like turning the temperature down at a time when Harry's talking about security for his family, they'd rather turn the flames up. They'd rather turn the flames up. So let me see. Okay, I see. I see there. Um, but yeah, that this is where this comes from is Lord Nappyhead's paper. And I see it originated. Let me see. Ingrid Seward, editor in chief of Majestic magazine, told the Sun the Sussexes' absence may be welcomed by senior members of the firm, and of course, Lord Nappyhead decided that this is not coming directly from me. Maybe, although we know he. Well, anyway, somehow it ended up in the fail. So, okay, let me go back to your comments. Okay, let me see here. They should not come back. I remember when Carolyn Flack herself, after the horrible front page stories in the Sun, they complained for a week and a half, and then it was business as usual. Oh yeah, yeah. I saw that story about her. That was so sad for her that she felt as though her life was ruined. And you know what? One thing she was right about, they were not going to leave her alone because they were making so much money from her. That is so weird. And it's embarrassing for the British people that so many people have had their lives ruined. So many politicians are afraid of the tabloid press. And think about it. Look at how they've been picking on Joe Biden. President Biden is a daily talking point. Several articles they cover Joe Biden like they used to cover the Duchess of Sussex, as though they're trying to drive him out of the White House. And of course, they can't stay away from the vice president. So yeah, these papers have way too much power. Read that they want to see Harry and Meghan's taxes. I just came in not too long ago. Dolores Sims, any type of financial documents that the FAIL can get a hold of, they love to say the FAIL can report. The FAIL is reporting. That's part of the headline. They'll say the Daily FAIL reports. And then what's really bad is that some of the American press quotes the Daily FAIL. Some of the American press quotes them and say the FAIL reports as though it's like saying the New York Times. They say the FAIL like they're quoting the New York Times, like they're quoting a real proper newspaper, like the Los Angeles Times or the Chicago Tribune or the Boston, whatever it was. They say it as though they're quoting legitimate news agencies, some of which have been bought out by some of these same dark forces, so they're not even what they used to be. Because when they buy out these local newspapers, then all of the editorial power actually goes right back to someone like a Murdoch or Lord Nappyhead or whatever. So it's like we're not safe from it. We're just not safe from it. And the people that were supposed to protect us, protect the public, using their freedom of speech and what is it, the fifth estate is what they call the newspapers or the journalism. They're not protecting anyone except for the financial goals of whatever news agency. They're not protecting the public. If anything, they're injuring the public. But she chose not to. What is the purpose of her existence as queen of a country? That position is so irrelevant. Yeah, she's just a figurehead. Absolutely. This is unfortunate. You have these people, these puppet tyrants going after the couple since since she won that lawsuit, right? I keep saying Knopf is behind these briefings against them. Lil Rock, I can take a hint. I could take a hint. You want to hear me say it? I'll say it. Okay. Let me get it set up here. The calls are coming from inside the house. The calls are coming from inside the house. And it's true. The calls are coming from inside the house. Excuse me. And as you just said, Knopf, you just said that Knopf is still briefing against them. Obviously, I mean, he's front and center of this photo. He's front and center. He's right behind Egghead. He's right behind him. I mean, literally, right behind him, and behind a lot of things that has been so painful to the Duchess of Sussex. It's like, um, it's like having a stalker out there. It really is like having someone as a stalker. Of course, I'm not saying he is stalking anybody, but he's um, the equivalent thereof in terms of a PR person going after the Duchess of Sussex. So it's disgusting. Let's see. See, guys, I'm doing pretty good. I'm not like upset like I was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I'm like cool as a cucumber. Let me see. I'm watching them. They are going bad, then good to stay undercover. Okay. Raggedy mouth. Are you talking about Knopf's teeth? Those jagged teeth in his mouth? Let me have mercy and get rid of them off of this screen. Okay, so that was one thing I wanted to talk about. Keep commenting. Then there's this. You can comment about either. Let me see. How come that's not coming up there? There it is. There it is. What about this person right here? So she says, I don't care what Prince Andrew feels. He's a horrible, nasty man. Duke's ex maid says she has no regrets about speaking out over his demanding and entitled foul mouth rants. So when I first saw this, I thought about I don't know which documentary it was, but it was about the life of the day of the royal family or whatever. And they spoke about how um, you go to draw the curtains for one of the members of the family so that they can prepare for their whatever day. And they said, let out a bunch of expletives, even though um, you're supposed to wake them up. And when they said that, the first person I thought about was Andrew. I couldn't think of anybody else in the family that could have been. The first person I thought about was Andrew. I didn't think it was Anne. Because first of all, not too many people got enough courage to walk up on Anne anyway, okay? So I didn't think it was Afro Annie. Afro Annie raised her head up off the pillow. You turn into a pillar of salt and you forget about you was supposed to wake her up. So I didn't think it was her because I'm telling you, it ain't too many people got the courage to run up on Afro Annie. So it wasn't her. And then I thought Charles, but then I said, no, it wasn't Charles. Charles would probably tell some long story about something nobody cares about. And by the time, you fall asleep listening to it. So it wasn't Charles. He's not the one. And then I thought, okay, even though people often forget about it, the Queen does have another child. People forget that the Queen has a fourth child, and that, of course, is Edward. But then I thought, no, she ain't got enough courage to do that. So it wasn't her. It wasn't her. She does have enough courage to wear this floor length gown of a coat, but it wasn't her. Um, that's so bad. Anyway, but it wasn't her. Um, But she is having a couture moment at this cenotaph, and I feel it is very brave of her to come out wearing a floor length military coat dress for a anyway, I admire her courage, but it wasn't her. It wasn't her, and it wasn't Afro Annie. So the only person I could think of was Andrew. But she does look very chic there, doesn't she? She looks very chic, but it wasn't her. I couldn't imagine her telling off anybody first day in the morning. So oh, okay. So that's why I believe it was Andrew. Because I couldn't see anybody else in the family acting that way. And as for Philip, Philip would have to actually be at the Buckingham Palace for somebody to wake him up. So I don't think it was Philip because he's usually not in anyway, at least not in Buckingham Palace or Windsor. So yeah, it was it and I that's who I thought of was anyway. Let me get her off the screen because she's a courageous person, and I think we should respect her individuality. So, um, and plus, yeah, she underneath it all, she's probably got some nice legs. Messy, messy. Oh yeah, she's got all those chocolate covered. I mean those tinfoil covered chocolate medals that she wears. So yeah, poor thing. Nothing fits her right either. Nothing. But that's one of the queen's kids. So when I first saw this, that's who I thought of was Andrew. Andrew has been known. Remember that time the royal protection officers beat him up that time in Buckingham Palace? They saw somebody creeping around the backyard. I'm not making that up. That's true. He was creeping around the backyard at Buckingham Palace, and they didn't think any member of the royal family would be out in the garden at that hour, and so they roughed him up. Now, of course, initially people thought that it was Afro Annie that roughed him up, but no, not that time. It was the royal protection officers. Um, anyway, they beat the daylights out of him because he was in the back garden at a time in a place where he shouldn't have been there, and he nearly got shot. Not only did they knock him off his feet, but they almost shot him. So it had got pretty serious, though. Um, that cannot be confirmed. I don't know, but either way, Marsha, she's very courageous. Okay. Jazz Hand was officially introduced to the public. It was her in the middle, William and Harry by her side. I felt bad when I saw suddenly Harry was no longer in the lineup. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, they use Harry as a crutch, and now he's not subject to that stuff anymore. Yes, they love to hate, watch, and listen to anything about the Sussexes, but they care nothing about their so-called standard bearers, the future of the monarchy. They care nothing. Okay, my sinuses as usual. Okay, let me see. Um, yeah, she doesn't have Harry to lean on anymore. That was the one thing that she was sure of, is that she had at least one man in the family that showed her any kind of decency or respect. Um, but anybody else, she was just an ornament and there to produce heirs. Oh no. Okay, hey love. Glad you stopped by. Um why does it say there's only one follower? Do you guys, I mean, not follower, but one person watching? Do you guys see that too? It says that there is one viewer. Can you guys see that? That's so weird. It says I have one viewer. Oh my goodness. Why is it like that? And it's okay. It says live viewers one. Oh, it says 755. Mine says one. I have one viewer up there. I'm going to screenshot this so I can share it with you guys. It says I have one viewer. That is so weird. But okay, now it says 761. Okay, see, when I tried to screenshot it, it went away. I thought it was something I said. I'm like, maybe I should stop picking on her with her couture length coat. Oh, we got a new member? Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Cat VG. And thank you, Connie Balmer. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So with that, let me look at my notes and make sure I didn't have anything else I wanted to talk about. But I think we're good with that. I think we're good with that. So we're not going to stay on here for 2 hours. Let's just go another, like, I think 13 minutes. And any final thoughts? I'm here for your comments now. Yeah, let me get rid of them. Okay, I'm here for your comments. There's a picture in the French magazine where it's raining and Harry is telling William, oh, I saw that. That was for that. Was it a Jubilee? They were on the boats, right? Or was it, yeah, I think that was when they were on that barge for the Queen's Jubilee for the 60 years or 63, 60. Let me see. Yeah, I think it was 60 years. And other than the Queen, it was Victoria had 63 years. So when it was 60 years, the Queen had her Jubilee, and now it's 70 years for her. So yeah, I believe I saw that photo where Harry is like, come and get your girl. And William is trying to stand outside of this torrential downpour because he didn't want to get his hair wet. I guess he was having concerns about it at the time. And so Harry's like pointing and shouting, if it is the photo I'm thinking of. But yeah, I do believe I've seen that photo. And it's hard to find that photo online. But yeah, I don't even have a copy of it. And you know how I keep receipts. Well, actually, I do. I'm gonna tell you that there's. Well, okay, I'll let you in on a little secret. Sometimes instead of like writing out the notes, I'll like save a screenshot of a particular article or something like that. So okay, busted, Bellissima, busted. Boy, I tell you, that's some detective work you have there. um I mean, see, you can tell when Harry is serious about anything, it shows on his face. Absolutely. Harry doesn't hide his emotions. He does not hide his emotions. Married man, a mother is suing Facebook for promoting the hate which led to the murder of her son. I hope the Sussexes are taking notes. Oh, believe me, the Sussexes have the best representation that you can get legally. If you recall, just last week they were saying that for their financial part of things, they have a lawyer that the Duchess of Sussex has used for a long time in Beverly Hills, a Beverly Hills lawyer. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't have an office in Beverly Hills because, he's okay at his job. He's probably got to be good. So anything that's available for them to pursue people that have made trouble for them, they'll go after those people. They will go after them. Okay, I had that already. Let's see. Okay. They need to start talking about why Andrew and his children are still being protected by taxpayers' money. Leslie and Hector, I can tell you why. I can help you with that because he ain't got no money. The only money that he has is whatever he gets from his mama. If he's not tugging at his mama's hemline, he'll probably starve. So that's why they're protecting him. Plus, of course, the daughters are HRH. And, I think that, am I right? Did the queen intervene to make them HRHs? Did she intervene on their behalf? I want to say that she did, but I'm not sure. Excuse me. But I know she did with with the Cambridge kids. I think it was just George that was supposed to be the HRH. Well, no, I'm sorry, to be a prince. So, of course, Beatrice and Eugenie, they are princesses. They are, of course, HRHs. So, yeah, it's amazing how the queen can just do stuff when she wants to do it. But when it comes to the Sussexes, all of a sudden she just started looking out the window. Okay, what else do we have here? Oh, thanks for keeping an eye on that for me. Yes, it was a Jubilee celebration where Baldy left Katie behind. uh, yeah. Okay, I've been part of your whole life. Because he's evil, because he's an evil individual. And if there's any derangers that are listening, yes, I said that his bald head brother is evil. That's an evil, disturbed, incandescent with rage individual. He's evil. He has evil written all over his sourpuss face, evil. And he doesn't seem to have any regard for his brother, unless I really, excuse me, the only people that he looks up to is actually I don't know that he really looks up to anybody except the queen, and I'm not even sure about that. But otherwise, I think he enjoys the fact that he can look down upon people. He has absolutely no sense of humor. What he tries to pass off as humor is just usually falls flat. No comedic timing whatsoever. No empathy for other people. I mean, he's just a lousy individual, and it shows, and it has aged him to the point where it's hard to believe that he's a 40-year-old man. It's just hard to believe because of what's in his heart. So excuse me, but I don't like him. To make them princesses, Charles was loath to do so as they weren't entitled according to the Constitution. That's what I thought I heard, is that the queen intervened. So that's how that happened. Okay, and you say you remember hearing that about the daughters. Yep, that's what I heard, is that Andrew pushed and pushed and pushed until he got what he wanted. Gangsta Gan indeed stepped up with the Royal HRH quill for Beatrice, Eugenie, George, Charlotte, and Louis, as well as bigged up Afro Annie to Princess Royale. Yes, Diane Hawkins. See, I've been paying attention. That's how I thought it was, that the queen jumped up like somebody put on some ancient waltz, and she took her quill and decided that this should be this and that should be that. That's how I understood it, is that they weren't entitled, but she decided to make it happen. But when it comes to the Sussexes and their children, they can't even be protected. They can't even be protected. Okay, up there we are. Those York sisters, the Queen secretly funds them since the feuding with Charles was rife, because he won't allow them to be working royals. Yeah, Charles. From what I'm to understand, Charles, of course, wants to slim down the monarchy, and um, he didn't see that there was any role for the York sisters. And Yeah, I think they live an extravagant lifestyle that they couldn't possibly afford with whatever work it is they do. So yeah, I think the queen slips them a few bucks, and then she couldn't give it to Andy to give to them because they would never see it. Yep. Don't tell your daddy. Don't tell your daddy. Isn't that something? The Duke of York is on trial in New York. I love it. Okay, there we go. Oh, okay. My sinuses are getting the better of me. Yeah, so we're gonna end this in about 4 minutes because my sinuses. You got. Hold on, you guys don't want to hear this. Oh, excuse me. I am getting terrible post nasal drip. Okay. I'm back, you guys. Okay, Rosalind Gatewood. He has no compassion or empathy for other people. That's why people can't relate to him. Yeah. I'm not ever going to call him a sociopath, but I'm not ever going to stop anybody else from doing it. That is, of course, I'm pretty sure we're talking about that other guy. Um, where is he when I'm looking for him? Not this guy. The one, yeah, the Chrome Dome. That's him. No empathy whatsoever. Okay. There's nothing wrong with the queen's mind. She remember what she wants. Selective memory, Gwendolyn. Selective memory. Beatrice and Eugenie were entitled to be named princess as they were reigning, as the reigning monarch is their grandmother. Oh, okay. Okay. So it wasn't about their titles as a princess of the realm. It was about them doing some of the work as senior royals that, or working as a senior royal that the Prince Charles was opposed to. So okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I think that sounds correct. Oh yeah, he did, didn't he? And remember that bizarre tweet that the Duchess of York tweeted because the tabloid press accused Meghan of upstaging them with her pregnancy. Remember that? They accused the Sussexes of upstaging them with her pregnancy, even though everybody in the family already knew about it. But they allowed the tabloid press to perpetuate the lie that the Duchess of Sussex tried to upstage one of the girls' weddings. I remember that. We're entire. Okay, I read that already. Oh, let me scroll. Let me scroll. Um, Dorian Gray. Yeah, actually, William is the painting. Someplace in the attic, there's an attractive young man, and the painting has broken free and started going about. So, yeah, that's what it is. It's the reverse of Dorian Gray. What we're looking at right now is the actual painting. Yes, Rosalind. Yes. Let me see. Come in. This is why she threw herself down the stairs when pregnant. Like the omen, huh? She had a feeling it was going to be like the omen. That, yeah, I guess sometimes you just know. But if I had to say, excuse me, it kind of reminds me of the omen, just much less attractive. Is Jason Knopf a spy planted by another country to destroy the British royal family? As this seems like what is that? Premeditated destruction of the family by using Harry and Meghan as scapegoats. Um, I don't know. I mean, he did work for the what was it? The Royal Bank of Scotland, was it? So he's had some pretty heavyweight connections in his life. You know, as young as he is, he seems to find himself around a lot of big power brokers. And now that he's working as a pseudo henchman for a future king, I mean, that puts him in an ideal position to do whatever it is that he's there to do. I'm pretty sure that whatever mission that he was on, if that were true, whatever mission that he was on, it wouldn't be as obvious as that. I'm sure it would be more to it if that were true, allegedly, possibly, and probably, likely. And they have the nerve to tell Meghan to go back to acting. Yeah, well, at least she can say she's a proper actress. That family is a collection of really bad actors. Like, look at them. This is them pretending to be love. Now, this is the best acting that I've never seen. Is them pretending to be in love and pretending to hate each other at the same time. That's acting. Yeah. Okay. Good night, everyone. I just came to say hello. I will watch the replay tomorrow. Thank you, Dina Nasser. Thank you so much. Oh, by the way, it's time for me to go. So let's say hello to our faves. Oh, I got to get out of here. I said it was only. Thank you, Doria, for making such an amazing daughter possible. Thank you for everything that you are doing behind the scenes to keep that family unit together. Um, our love and all our best to Doria. Thank you for making the Sussexes possible. And also thank you, Princess Diana, for everything that you've done for Harry, rescuing him from that family before he even knew he needed to be rescued. So that was an incredible insight that the Princess of Wales had, the Queen of our hearts. So thank you, Diana. Thank you, Doria. And let's get to the last comment. Okay, let me see this one now. The Daily Mail demands to see Harry. Okay, yeah, well, yes, they are demanding a distraction. That's what they're demanding. Says it. Charlotte already seems to be going through the spare syndrome. Yeah, do you remember? Okay, I remember when they said that they were not going to tell George that he was a future king because they didn't want to create a rivalry amongst the children. They didn't want to puff his head up so he would, be cray cray when he gets older. Do y'all remember that? Because I remember that the Cambridges said that they wanted a completely different life for their children. But what are they doing? Now they're making little ads and videos where they look like it's some kind of commercial for an outdoors clothing line or something. Do y'all remember that? Because I do. They said that they weren't going to mess his little head up with too much information about being king. Now it seems to be all they talk about. So, yeah, I could imagine Charlotte is feeling a bit out of place. And if she's anything like Princess Anne, and I kind of think she does have that spirit about her, she looked like she's going to end up clobbering that kid. So, um, yeah, they just need to be careful because these are children and they're very impressionable and they cannot get this time back. And I think they reneged on their promise to keep those kids protected from that nonsense of the heir and the spare. But it seems to me like they have turned it up. Briefing against the couple is definitely a distraction. The hate that keeps on trending, and Aussie news outlets are the vipers who spread the venom. Yeah, Lil Rock, I've seen the way that they work down under, and it's like that. I don't even think the people of Australia really care, but they put that information out there just to make sure that they have fulfilled whatever obligations to people like Rupert Murdoch. But I don't think the average Australian really cares. But yet, it's such a central part of their daily broadcast. Okay. Okay, so Winding this up, I'm going to go through real fast, see what jumps out at me. Let me see. Okay, that'll be interesting. Okay, I'm going to scroll all the way down because I have, let me see. Write the title which Andrew accepted as grandchildren of Charles automatically. Yeah. So yeah, when the Queen goes to be with Philip, it was assumed, at least that's what I heard, is that that Archie and Lily would automatically become a prince and princess, and that they warned the Duchess of Sussex that they probably won't have titles because they're your kids, and we just don't see fit for them to have titles. But otherwise, the normal course of things is they would be a prince and princess. That's what I read a long time ago. But because it involves people of color, you know how it is, all of a sudden the rules change. Like when Obama tried to put a Supreme Court justice on the bench to take Ruth Bader Ginsburg's seat, of course, the rules changed. It was a lot of things with Obama that the rules changed. So, yeah, believe me, I understand how that works. They can't even. Let me see. When Michael Jackson was performing at Wembley, he gave Diana 2 jackets for her children. Charles took the money from the. Oh no! Wow. Let's see. Yeah, Yvonne, I feel what you're saying. It's really what could I say? What could I say? It's getting so like messy. So anyway, okay. Okay, so who wants to have the last word for today? Who wants to? Oh, let me scroll all the way to the bottom. We need a last word. Something profound and thought provoking. Not a compliment for me, of course, just something profound and thought provoking. Thank you, Opal, but let's give the glory to someone who really deserves it. Okay. Okay, anybody? A way to take us out of here for today? A final word, something somewhat profound and thought provoking. Although, Lisa, I like this, waiting for karma to strike down the House of Windsor, but we want something benevolent, and we don't want the apocalypse. We want something. I like it though, Lisa. I like it, but we when we close out the podcast, we want something that really speaks to the humanity that we all have for one another. And while waiting for karma to strike down the House of Windsor sounds great. Oh my God, that's so funny to me. But while that sounds interesting, we were we were thinking of something a little more, something else. This is a good way to close things out. Thank you, Lorna Castellanos. Um, Lisa, that is going to be something that's going to have me laughing for no reason later on tonight. Um, but okay, thank you, Lorna Castellano, for the beautiful super sticker. And I'm gonna try to get these tears out of my eyes so I can see what y'all been saying. Um, we shall overcome this hate. I like that. I like that, Connie. That should be it. Oh, I like this one too. Love will conquer all. So yes, ladies, you have the last comment for today, although I think Lisa's is memorable. But I'm sorry, gosh, that was funny. Okay, so thank you everybody. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the new memberships. If you guys didn't notice, there was a link for the new merchandise. I just started the Royal Sussex merchandise. So if you see something that you like, maybe not. But anyway, go to the community tab. It's there, and I'm gonna put it in the comments here along with everything else. So, thank you. Oh, yes. Uh, I understand though, because sometimes they do that too. You know what I mean? Sometimes you be sitting up there minding your business, and all of a sudden they start messing with the Sussexes, and then you start getting in your feelings, and that could happen. So I feel you. Okay, so okay, good night, y'all. Love you all so much. Thank you for all of the continuous support for Royal Sussex, and I will see y'all next time.